Imagine this, it's 1995. You want to book a holiday in Australia. What do? You can probably call a travel agent, flip through a glossy brochure, maybe even post a check to confirm your booking. It's slow, but it works. Now, fast forward 30 years to today. You can pull out your phone, browse endless options, read reviews, and confirm everything in minutes. So, what changed? It's tempting to say technology, but that's only part of the story. The real story is far more complex and far more human. My name is Despina Karatzias, your proud host of the Tourism Hub podcast, and welcome to episode 68. For those of you who have been following the show and know I've been a little quiet on the interview front with about one interview a month of late. Thank you for sticking with my solo podcast. I've been deep in the final semester of my postgraduate studies, and this is the best and most resourceful way to continue keeping on and showing up and sharing with you what I'm learning, what's going on, and how I can best serve some thinking to you without things coming to a halt. Studying online, that solo feeling is real, especially being an online student and studying on the opposite side of the country. I've craved connection to discuss these learnings that I'm being exposed to, which brings me here, and from time to time I'm using this opportunity to almost they say when best way to learn is to teach, and this is a great way for me to explore and kind of capture what I've been learning into a digestible and meaningful way. It helps me deepen my learning, and also in context of our industry, it also helps me reframe these paradigms and theories and research into what can I do with this for us, for our industry. So this podcast and this episode is something that really is why I started in the first place. It's not just somewhere we can talk tourism. It's a place to process and share what is being experienced out there in the world and all of these learnings along the way. So, if you're curious about innovation, systems thinking, or the future of our industry, I have put a show together to bring you on the journey of thinking a little bit deeper with me. Also had the privilege of attending a session at Victoria University hosted by the incredible School for the Visitor Economy, previously led by the wonderful Dr. Joanne Pike, who we sadly lost. And I have a dedicated episode to our beautiful Jo. And this gathering is, we will all, for those that knew Jo, it's where we will always think of her and just know, she would have devoured what happened through the week on Wednesday morning, where we heard from Associate Professor Peter Stumpf from the Czech Republic. The topic, tourism destinations. Do complex problems have simple solutions? Short answer, no, absolutely not. But what a question to sit with and ponder. Professor Stumpf's research that he shared with us on Tuesday at Vic Uni reminded us and challenged us to think beyond surface level solutions. He spoke about systems thinking, simplifying complexity to understand patterns, systems dynamics, how we model and learn from dynamic tourism environments, and system archetypes, recurring patterns in how problems evolve and repeat. Whether it's Venice or regional Victoria, we're all dealing with the same but different challenges. Now, whether it's beautiful Venice or beautiful regional Victoria, we're all dealing with the same but different challenges. How many visitors are too many? How many visitors are too few? Who gets prioritized? Our local community, our local businesses, or the visitor and the visitor experience? What does service quality really look like in a seasonal economy? And are we solving real problems or just shifting the burden? This session was a powerful reminder that there are no silver bullets in tourism, just like there are no silver bullets in business, but there are better questions, better thinking, and better systems that we can design. We love the word innovation in business and in tourism and in many industries. But as the ABC's Future Tense podcast points out, our definition has become dangerously shallow. This is well worth a listen, and I have included in the show notes the link to go listen. It was one of our tasks for this particular current unit that I'm studying in my postgrad, one of two finales. Back to center. Innovation today is often equated with whatever is shiny, digital, and fast. A new app, innovation. A new AI tool, innovation. But is that really what innovation is, or what it should be? I certainly never thought about it, and it fascinated me. The podcast unpacks myths we've bought into, that entrepreneurs are natural innovators. In fact, they're often risk averse, that technology evolves on its own when it rarely does, and that tech companies are driving the future when most are building on government-funded foundations. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The kind of innovation we really need, like renewable energy, sustainable tourism systems, or climate resilience, won't come from quarterly reports or growth at all costs mindsets. It needs research and long game thinking. Take the internet. Arguably one of the most transformative innovations in modern history. Contrary to Silicon Valley storytelling, the internet wasn't invented by a tech startup. It was funded by the US Department of Defense, and it was built through decades of publicly funded research involving universities, government agencies, and academics. And yet, today's tech giants who profit from this infrastructure go to great lengths to disguise its origins. As Future Tense host Anthony Funnell points out, the 5 biggest tech companies are essentially free riders on infrastructure created through taxpayer money. Ponder on that one. Which begs the question, would the internet even be built today in a political and economic environment that's pathologically averse to risk? This is from the podcast. Where governments focus on election cycles and very short-term election cycles, and companies focus on quarterly results and serving their shareholders? The answer is likely no. Just like Professor Stumpf's use of system archetypes and dynamics reminds us that in tourism, small changes can have massive ripple effects. This is the butterfly effect in action, and it makes clear that innovation in tourism must go beyond surface level tech fixes. In my academic work, sounds so pro, ACCA, also known my latest assessment that is due in approximately 2 days, and thankfully I've been chipping away at it, that I'm not going to, I haven't lost too much sleep. Well, that's a lie. I don't sleep. I've got these uni academic work. Anyhow, I've explored 3 key paradigms that help us better understand the relationship between technology and society. Stay with me. It's so interesting. Let's start with technological determinism. TD. This idea is that technology drives change and society simply just adapts. Then there's the social construction of technology, also known as or abbreviated as SCOT with one T. Social construction of technology argues that society is the one that shapes how technology is developed, used, and understood. And then we have actor network theory as the third paradigm, which sees innovation as a complex web of relationships between human and non-human actors. Now, let's take something familiar like online booking platforms. TD, technological determinism, would say once the internet came, these platforms were inevitable. Technology drove the change and tourism just had to follow. The social construction of technology, SCOT, counters that the adoption of booking tech depended on social context. Some operators embraced it, others resisted, fearing loss of control or connection with customers. That there, my dear friends, is interpretive flexibility in action, meaning the same technology can be understood, valued, and used in entirely different ways depending on the beliefs, the needs, and the experiences of different social groups. It's a reminder that innovation isn't just about what a technology can do, but how people perceive, shape, and negotiate its role within their specific context. And then we have anchor network theory, and going even further. Actor network theory says that these platforms are not just tools, they are actors in a network of relationships involving algorithms, review, internet infrastructure, user behavior, and business decisions. The platform is shaped and shapes in real time. This layered understanding is essential if we want to respond to innovation critically and not just reactively. As the Future Tense podcast reminds us, true innovation today isn't just the next booking or the next ride-sharing app or itinerary generator. It's the technologies and systems that can help preserve life on Earth, like renewable energy, carbon capture, and regenerative tourism models. The kind of innovation that doesn't just starve tourists, but sustains the communities and the environments that they visit. This type of innovation requires risk-tolerant public investment, academic freedom, and long-term thinking. And that's why we need to shift the conversation from shiny tech to systematic change. Now, that would never have come out of this mouth or this brain before this unit. And that is why I am devouring these studies. I just wish I had more hours and days. But never mind that, we make use with the resources that we have, and here we are. I hope, your day and your brain is better after kind of unpacking this. And I want to unpack it a little bit more to get a real grasp on this for you and for me and for we. So let's explore these three powerful lenses a little bit further. Technological determinism, the social construction of technology, and actor network theory. Each of these theories help us ask better questions about the past, the present, and the possible future of innovation in tourism. Technological determinism. The tech made us do it. TD tells us that technology evolves independently and society simply needs to come for the ride and adapt. According to this view, the shift from paper brochures to online bookings was inevitable. Once the internet existed, it was only a matter of time. This view is appealing because it's simple. It gives us a story of progress. But as scholars like Sally Wyatt, and I'll put her work in the show notes as well, as Ms. Wyatt points out, it is misleading. When we say AI will change everything, we overlook the policies, people, and power structures that actually guide how AI is used. The same applies in tourism. Online booking platforms didn't just happen. They were shaped by regulations, business models, partnerships, and the evolving visitor expectation. Scott, on the other hand, the people powering technology, the societal construction of technology. Scott, this framework says that technology doesn't drive change, people do. It's society that gives technology its meaning, its role, and ultimately its power. For example, when online booking systems were introduced, not every tourism business jumped on board. Larger, tech-savvy operators saw this as an opportunity and saw booking systems as the future. But many small rural businesses feared loss of control, costs, and complexity. Just this week, for example, I was delivering a social media workshop in regional Victoria, and the conversation led back to the discussion of booking giants and the impossibility to compete with them, in inverted commas. This is what Scott calls interpretive flexibility. Different groups interpret the same technology in different ways. And it's these social negotiations, not just tech upgrades, that shape adoption. And the final paradigm or theory is that technology is not neutral. The actor network theory focuses on the power of tech and Scott on the power of people, saying that it's all connected, and views innovations as a network of relationships between humans and non-humans, platforms, policies, algorithms, users, and even reviews, as being all actors shaping the system. Think about how an OTA, online travel agent, like Booking.com functions. It's not just a tool, it actively influences pricing, strategies, traveler behaviors, and how businesses design their offers, and helps us understand that innovation is not linear or isolated. It's negotiated, evolving, and deeply embedded in social and technical networks. All right, we've explored theories, questioned assumptions, and challenged the way we think about innovation. Well, I hope we have anyway. It certainly has to me the last 2-3 weeks. But now, from these highest heights, let's get down to business and let's get practical, because if you know me, hello, Despina, in my day-to-day world, I deliver and create these practical training and workshops and mentor businesses one-on-one. So you can't assume you know what that I do in my day-to-day, but that's basically it. In my Institute of Excellence, I might throw in there, instituteofexcellence.com is where all that magic happens. I work with many different clients to bring training and education and practical application to life. So now that we do know each other, and I don't assume anymore, that's what I do. I'm there. I'm not just here to provoke the thought. I'm here to ignite the action. And that's what I want for us as practitioners, as operators, as business people and humans of tourism, strategists and champion of our industry. What do we do with this type of knowledge? So here's what I invite you to take action on next. Number one, I invite you to audit your innovation story. Take a moment, step back and ask, what technologies have you adopted in the past 5 years? Were those choices proactive or reactive? Did they enhance your visitor experience and the way you do work, or did they just tick a box and were doing it because everyone else is doing it? Innovation doesn't need to be flashy. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to train your team on a new system, create a stronger local partnership, or make your website easier to use. That could be the decision this week when you're thinking about doing a bit of an audit on your innovative story and journey. Number 2 is map your network. Inspired by actor network theory, something to try, and this is something I am in the depths of really auditing my own systems. Draw a simple diagram of the human and non-human actors in your business. For example, your team, your guests or your customers, online booking platforms, review sites, local councils, destination marketers, internet infrastructure, algorithms. Yes, really, they're an actor in our worlds. Where are the tensions? Where are the connections? Where can more collaboration or better alignment happen? This is a practical step toward systems thinking. And once you see your business as part of a wider network, you'll start spotting new opportunities. You always do. You can never not do an exercise like this and not see somewhere along the line a gap, a bottleneck, or an opportunity for your growth. And number 3 is challenge the determinism. If you've caught yourself saying that's just how tech works, pause. Ask, why is this technology being used this way? Who benefits from it? Is there room to shape it differently, to fit my business, to fit my values, to fit my visitors and my customers better? Because as Scott reminds us, technology is not inevitable. It is shaped by people, and you as a tourism leader are one of those people. And number 4, look at the long game. Let's be honest, most of us are running businesses that need cash flow. They need the bookings, they need the bums on seats. But alongside that, we need to be asking, what kind of tourism are we building for the next 10, 20, 50 years? Are we designing systems that will still serve communities and protect places long after the next big thing in tech has passed? Let's move from surface innovation to sustainable transformation. And the final thought, my beautiful tourism brothers and sisters, be the innovator you need. Innovation isn't something that only lives in labs or apps. It's something you live every day in your business and in your career or in your studies, in your decision making, in your partnerships, in your own creativity, in your own way of doing you. So the next time you hear the word innovation, don't just think digital, think dynamic, think deliberate, and most importantly, think about the future you want to help shape. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and my entire being for being here, for tuning in to the Tourism Hub podcast. If this episode lit a little spark, if it ignited, let's keep the conversation going. Share it with a colleague, subscribe, review, reflect in it with your team in your next meeting, or reach out. I'd love to hear what innovation looks like in your world. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep creating and innovating with purpose.